Okay, so we're going to sew this half circle into this half circle hole. The difference in the diameters between the circle and the hole has to be 1 inch. And in order that we end up with a complete half circle, once we've sewn in the block, we need an extra 1/4 inch of seam allowance along the straight edge here and at the straight edge here. So the first thing I do is pin it at the 3 marks, the midpoint. So I've turned right side to right side, I've aligned the raw edges, and I'm just going to pin these 3 spots, the beginning, the middle, and the end. At that point, I'm going to start sewing, and I'm going to sew a scant 1/4 inch, so just under 1/4 inch, so that when the seam allowance is pressed, you have a proper 1/4 inch finished. So starting here, I'm going to simply sew halfway around to the next pin, just aligning the 2 raw edges. And I just keep going, just keeping the raw edges aligned. And when I get to where I can see the next pin, I adjust the whole line up to the next pin. I adjust the edges and ease as necessary. So if I need to stretch either the top or the bottom, then this is when I do it. And then as I get to the next pin, I'm going to once again just start keeping the edges together and stitching without any easing. And you'll notice that I'm sewing with the circle on the bottom and the background on the top, and that's because there's more loose fabric on the top, and this way I can keep my eye on it and keep it out of the rest of the seam. So again, once I get back to where I can see the next pin, I do the stretching or easing that I need, and I align the edges and sew past the end.